Hey, this is John Young with the Weekend Handyman. If you're looking for some last-minute gift ideas here for the holiday season, because we've got like 1 week until Christmas, I've got a few things here on the bench, and we're going to quick run through a few ideas that might help you to find that perfect something for that someone who's a little bit difficult to shop for because they are into the hand tools and different things, and you're just really not sure what would be a really good fit. So we're going to talk about a few things. First off, we're just going to kind of work our way from my right to left here. First off, we're going to start off with a little battery that's used for a lot of different applications. This particular size battery is used for a lot of outdoorsmen for fishing and different things, but this one is a lithium iron version battery. It's using some of that lithium technology, very small, very lightweight, 12 volt, 10 amp hour. So it's a little bit more power output than what a traditional one is for those fishermen out there that are running their locators and different things. Combine that. This is, by the way, from Energized Outdoors. Again, super lightweight because it's that lithium technology. Combine that with a little battery box here. This is from Bold North Outdoors. That battery in this box is going to give you a great camping 12 volt backup system. You've got your inputs and outputs for different devices. You've got a 12 volt spot there to plug in a different accessory. You've got your on and off for doing a variety of different things and turning things on with the gauges so you know how much battery life is there, and it has USB ports. This is again from, let me just get this back on there. This is from Bold North Outdoors, the little box, the little Energized Outdoor battery. This is going to cost around $200 for this setup, somewhere in that ballpark, depending upon where you get it and such. But for people who are out camping, this would be a great thing because you're going to be able to charge your phones. And with this 10 amp hour lithium based battery, it's going to be able to do this all weekend long, giving you 12 volt lighting. It's going to be able to charge things, and you won't have to worry about recharging whatsoever. So a great gift idea, a little bit more on the higher side than a lot of the things we're going to look at. But that's our first two items actually. Next, I want to go to knives. We're going to talk about knives. A lot of people have heard of course, Leatherman. Leatherman's kind of the industry name when it comes to these multi-purpose, these multi-tools. If you're looking for a Leatherman or a multi-tool type product, there's two of them I would recommend looking at, either the Gerber company or the Leatherman. I'll just going to show you a little bit more. There you go. Both of them make really nice multi-tools. I have both of them. I actually bought one of each. I didn't open them up because I want you guys to be able to see what they look like in their wrapping so you can find them easier in the stores. These two brands are ones I would trust. I've seen them at trade shows. I've looked at a lot of their different tools. They make pretty good stuff. There's a lot of knockoff ones that are a little bit sketchy and cheap where the rivets aren't as strong, what have you. But the Leatherman, this particular one is a 14 tool sidekick. I want to say it was somewhere in that somewhere between $40 and $60. I don't remember for surely on that one. And the Gerber are a little bit cheaper. This particular Gerber is their multi-tool 12 tool. I actually have more Gerber than I do Leatherman, and I really like the Gerber ones. I have these with pretty much all of my different toolboxes and things. I have one of those in there. So those multi-tools, a great idea. Just make sure you're getting a decent one. Again, price range somewhere in that $40 to $60 range. You can go a lot more. Leathermans can be up to $150 to get a really good one. Get a good one. Don't waste your money on a crappy one. Sticking with knives, there's different types of utility or box cutting knives. This is a Craftsman. This is a folding one. It's definitely a possibility. Or I've got the Craftsman one that is a retractable blade knife. Many companies make these. Stanley makes a great one. Actually, I'll show you the Stanley one. This is the Stanley one that we use. DeWalt has them. Everybody has these. The big thing is that you're going to be spending somewhere between $5 and $15 on a good knife. You can get a 99-cent one, which this is not the 99-cent one. They're going to be the ones you get for people you don't like. When you want to go and invest and get one for someone you do like, you're going to be spending, that $10 range kind of to get a good retractable utility knife that's going to last. Some of them have the ability to pivot and do the replacement of the blades without tools. Some you need to take out the little screw. I personally prefer the ones where you need to take it apart and put the blades in. Some people love the ones where it's a non-tool changing system, such as this one has the ability to do it there. I don't think I have a non-changing one here, or a non-tool one. So that's it for knives. Let's look at tape measures next. Tape measures are something that we use all the time. And there's a variety of different quality of tape measure. This is the FatMax, Stanley FatMax. First off, FatMax is one of the brands under Stanley. Most of their tools are really quite good for the kind of the entry DIY type person who's looking for something that's going to last for a few years. This is their FatMax. It's one of their newer ones for 2018 that has more of a ball shape to it, so it fits in the palm better. But what I like about it is that it's a nice wide blade, which means I can extend it longer before it bends over. It's got some nice detailed markings. Fits in the hand well. Really kind of a nice blade. You'll see it's got 3 rivets on the blade. That's kind of an important thing because cheaper ones will have down to 1. I've got a Craftsman version here. What's neat about the Craftsman version is it has a little magnetic piece. The end of it's magnetic, and I can go and magnet it right there, and I can literally pull. The magnet's that strong. Again, the Craftsman one, wider blade, very easy to read with a very distinct, and it has 3 rivets on it. So getting a good quality tape measure, they're going to run, if you picked them up Black Friday time frame, they were 2 of them for under $20. Somewhere in that $15 range is going to be what you're going to be spending if you're buying one, but a good one's going to last a long time. Let's go to back to the battery thing. Now, this does not work with this particular, that lithium based battery. This is a little battery tender. This is a battery tender junior. If you've got lawnmowers or you've got different devices out there that need to have their battery kind of kept charged in the off season, a battery tender is a great option. The battery tender junior will be able to handle a lawnmower basically, or in our case, we take some of the deep cycle batteries off and put a battery tender on them, and I'll let them sit on it for a week, and it'll do its thing, and then I'll unplug it for a while, and then come back and do it like once a month. The battery tenders are a great option. They range from $40 up to about $70, somewhere in that ballpark. Some of them are just for maintaining, some of them are for desulfonating a battery. Depending upon your needs, the desulfonating is kind of a cool thing because it can do the charge, it can keep it up, and then it does the desulfonating. This particular one does not. It's just the battery tender junior, a little cheaper than a desulfonating one. Let's see. I want to get to sockets in a bit. Let's talk about little levels here. A level is something that a person uses quite a bit around the house, whether you're putting up picture frames or you're doing different things, or you're wanting to line things up, what have you. And getting a small level like this, and there's many different brands. This is from KaPro. They've got this particular one out there, and it gives you a few different things. You can actually, let's see, the magnetic on the side. So say if I wanted to go stick this to something and see if it's going to be there, it will hold, except I've got these little things on it that won't allow it to hold. It'll magnetically hold onto different areas, and you can change the angle of the little side here, and you'll be able to find out exactly what angle that you wanted to have that, whatever. It's just really kind of neat. This is an area where you can buy a 99-cent one, or you can buy one that's going to probably range up to getting into the $15 to $20 range. Investing a little bit more in one that is a solid piece of metal that has the magnetic capability. This one has some nice bumpers on it, which I've got a nice straight edge here for maybe drawing a line. I can't do so, but that's not a huge deal. The big thing is that I've got a nice level, I've got my degree angle things, and I have the magnetic side of it, and I have a nice edge, so if I needed to do a quick little straight line, I could definitely do that. And I think this is about a 10 or 12 inch level. Looks like, yeah, about 11 inch, somewhere in that ballpark. 10 inch, excuse me, it's a 10 inch. So little torpedo level, something that would definitely be a nice stocking stuffer. But again, don't skimp out. You can buy the cheap ones. I would not recommend that. Kits to add on to your cordless tools. I've got a variety of different ones here. First up, I've got a kit from Craftsman here that contains drill bits. It has different driving bits in here for, it has some sockets in here, some driving bits for different, Phillips and square head and different things such as that. These multi-tool kits are out there. Ryobi has a variety of different ones. This one is their wood drill bit set. And I can continue on. Here's a Ryobi driver set, which I like in this particular one because it has the socket adapter, so I can go for my driver and I can use any sockets from any of my tools, whether it's 1/4, 3/8, or 1/2 inch drive. I've got it right there. And we can continue. There's the, oops, I gotta get it. There we go. There's different types of drill bits. These are the black oxide drill bits, but there's just a lot of different ones, and everybody makes these. Ryobi, DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee, they all have different driver bits. They're generally going to be somewhere around that $10 mark, $10 to $15, depending upon what you're getting in that. Those are great options for someone who's needing a few extra tools and kind of, or needing a few extra pieces that, especially drill bits. We end up snapping these things off. When my kids are using these smaller ones, they're going to break a lot of these. It's just the way it is. You'd like to wish they wouldn't, and even I sometimes break them. Just go out there and invest in some of those and you'll be in fine shape, because yes, you can spend more on drill bits, but the quality and such, there's not a huge difference. If you're getting a titanium coated, you're probably getting as good as you can get right now outside of the professional versions, because they're going to get broken as you're using them. Finally, I want to talk about socket sets. Socket sets, we can range from smaller socket sets, and I've shown you some in the past in other videos where they were these little husky stubby ones you can get at Home Depot. I didn't have one that was still in the packaging because we've taken those and we were using those. These I kept for this particular video. I've got two different DeWalt sets here. This is their 50-piece set right here, and I believe this one is a 23-piece. This one came from, I believe it was Fleet Farmers where I picked this one up at. And the key thing with this is why I liked and went with these two socket sets is that they're a 72 tooth ratchet, meaning that they can be a little bit finer in the ratcheting. Now Craftsman came out with one this past fall we've talked about that was a 122 tooth ratchet. Typically most ratchets that you have are in a 32 range, 36 range, somewhere in that ballpark. So you've got more play as you're going, and you can't get into smaller areas and be able to go as quickly as you can with one that has finer teeth. So there's a couple of different versions. The socket sets like this are ranging somewhere around that $40 range. You can go and spend up to $200. I did that on one of my bigger Craftsman sets that I wanted that had that 120 tooth, and that's in a different building right now in our Craftsman studio area. But just getting a quality one, you can go and get a $10 one socket set, and that's going to be fine for some tasks. But if you want something that's going to last, you're probably going to be looking at that $25 to $50 range to get a basic set. This particular one has both the standard and metric in it, and this particular one was only standard, and you had to buy the other one, the metric one, to go with it. But it's just a much heavier drive set, and it has some of the larger sockets, which is it can be a struggle sometimes to get a socket that's up to that inch in diameter or the inch in size, because a lot of them only go up to about 3/4 inch, and that's the end of it. Last thing, protecting the hands. Kinco has a pair of gloves, and this is probably, I have gone through more of these over the years. These are a goat-skinned glove that Kinco makes. I wear the large or extra large. These are brand new, so they're a little stiff. What's really cool about the goatskin gloves is that after wearing them for about an hour, maybe sweating in them a little bit, but just even wearing them for about an hour, and I'll wear these driving just to break them in. The leather and such starts to kind of conform to your hand a little bit more, and they become much softer to the point where I can actually easily tie shoes with these when I'm wearing them. They give you a little bit of weather protection. They give you a lot of protection, of course, because being leather, from things that might cut your hands up, scratch your hands and such. So if you've got somebody on your list who's looking for something, the Kinco, these are goat-skinned leather gloves. They're about $15 for a pair, somewhere in that ballpark, depending upon if you find them on sale. Definitely one of my favorite pairs of gloves. Again, I have a lot of these, and they do wear out because of them being a softer leather. They aren't going to last as long as others, but I'm going to trade out the softness for the ability and the dexterity I have for wearing goatskin gloves. This is John Young with the Weekend Handyman. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this gave you some ideas of some last-minute gift tips or things that you could pick up for those loved ones on your list coming up for this holiday season. Thanks for watching.
For more tips and how-to videos, go to weekendhandyman.com.